languages that we speak, read, and write were developed by earthly civilizations. However, there is a language that transcends the spoken words of the conscious mind. It is the language of imagery, spoken by the spirit and understood by the heart. Imagery is the medium the tarot uses to access the inner knowing of the subconscious mind. But sometimes, even the most experienced tarot reader can have a hard time telling the difference between wishful thoughts and inner knowing, especially when emotions or attachment to an outcome gets in the way. Enter the Zodiac 108, the newest addition to the iN2IT family of Oracle and tarot cards, where spiritual and occult practices combine with scientific and technological developments, resulting in a deck that can invoke an unlimited number of concepts and ideas. This oracle offers 108 object-based images to access the subconscious mind, which sends images back via an emotional signal to a verbal cue, which is understood by your rational mind. For greater clarity and understanding, it offers a lexicon of more than 2,500 verbal words or phrases to pique your inner knowing, thereby opening clear communication between your subconscious and spiritual world with your conscious verbal mind. The iN2IT Oracle Zodiac 108 gives voice to your intuition and inner knowing by filtering out the noise of conflicting emotions that would normally cloud self-understanding. And it is an effective tool that anyone can use to gain insights that will provide the information needed to make decisions, achieve goals, and obtain desired outcomes.
I decided to create a deck with 108 cards because I'm very intrigued by the sacred numerology of the number 108. And then I thought, what would be really cool is a deck that has 12 suits, and every suit would be based on the signs of the zodiac. And then there would be 9 cards in every suit, so that it would be 9 times 12. And then I was like, oh, that's 108. And that was really the number I was aiming for. I wanted 108 cards, and I just didn't even put 2 and 2 together, at first when I was doing that. So then I was like, okay, so how do we do that? The idea is kind of similar to tarot in that the tarot has the 4 suits, which in the minor arcana, fire, water, earth, and air. And then if you cross-reference the energy of that particular number with the energy of the suit of the sign of the zodiac, whether it's Aries or Taurus or Gemini, and you have the number 1, it's going to kind of have a different characteristic when it's related that particular number with the particular sign of the zodiac. When I was, cross-referencing and trying to get the core meaning of that number plus that sign of the zodiac, then I would choose an item that would represent it. I really felt like I wanted it to be very focused, very object-oriented. So in the entire Z108, it's always a specific object that I would choose to represent that particular number crossed with the sign of the zodiac. And so it's really cool because if you're familiar with numerology, you definitely have that feeling of what that number means. Right. And then you have the essence of the sign, and then you have this object, and then we of course have the keyword. It handles really easily. We're using the same cardstock. We're going to do the very same, and it's got a semi-gloss coating, is a little bit shiny in light, but it also has this really great aqueous coating, so the cards will last longer. And then it has this beautiful linen finish, so the card shuffles just beautifully, like whether you're doing hand over hand shuffling or if you riffle shuffle your cards, it has this really great snap sound when you're shuffling. It's really great for handling. I think that choosing to use the box, everything the same as the iN2IT Oracle that was so successful, will give buyers the confidence that when they buy this deck, they know what to expect. The gemstones in there makes it something a little different. As you know, the Z108 has 108 cards as the main primary part of the deck, but it also has bonus cards. There's 4 sections of bonus cards, and the reason I brought those in very specifically was because I knew that we needed to have people cards in the deck. And the second was I really like to have a card that has timing. I chose to do timing cards based on open-ended, but still give you kind of a sense of within a few days, within a few weeks, the phases of the moon and the phases of life, which are also can be used for timing, because of course the moon is always a great timing card, you know, an aspect for what's going on with different moon phases. So they can be used for timing as well. And then I did 9 cards, yes, no, or outcome cards. And so who doesn't love a deck that can just flat out tell you yes or no? Because we always have those kinds of questions, right? So there's going to be, you know, we'll have the bag of gemstones in there. You're going to have the deck like this, and you can just buy a single deck. We'll be having multiple options, whether you want to buy 1, 2, 3, 9 even. That's what will be available with this upcoming Kickstarter.
What I feel happened with the Z108 is we created a deck that's actually not just a microcosm, but actually the macrocosm too, because a lot of the words and items can be looked at as more global items. We've got so much going on in the world today. What I think the introduction of the Z108 does is it takes it, not only do you have the micro level that you can use, there's a macro level. There's cards that represent freedom. There's cards that represent more global concepts. So now that we're in a globally expansive time where we're shifting and changing the global level, you're able to look at that higher level, and those cards take you actually to a higher level. But the really beautiful thing is in conjunction with the iN2IT Oracle with Bonus Trio, you can use the 2 decks together. They don't really overlap. And so as a reader, I'm incredibly excited about the fact that because the cards are the same size, even though they're different colors, I can mix them together, and I've got even more possibilities.
Yeah.
It's like, oh my gosh.
It's really just an incredible opportunity to strengthen your own knowing and your own trust, your intuition in yourself. And, you know, that's one of the reasons that I've created these decks and will continue to do so as time goes on.